From the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business, I'm Ken White. Wherever you happen to be on the public speaking spectrum, right? Whether you've done this for 20 years and you're at the very top, you're good, you know you're good, or you're maybe down toward the bottom. You haven't done much public speaking and you haven't had many opportunities. Wherever you fall on that ladder, you can definitely improve. And not just by a step, but maybe several steps. So how do you do this? The next time you have a public speaking engagement, record it. Take in a camera that records video and audio and record your presentation. You can have someone do it for you. You could prop up an iPad in the front row. However you want to do it, just make sure it's recorded with decent audio and good video as well. Then comes the real step. This is the way to improve. Go back to your home or office and watch your presentation to see how you communicate. The best way to do it when you're watching it is to consider two specific areas of your presentation. The first is nonverbal. What do you do with your body to communicate? The other side is the verbal. What are you doing with your voice to get your message across? Under the nonverbal, there's a couple things to look forward to as you're reviewing your tape. First, just take a look at your overall appearance. Sometimes we think we look a certain way, but until we see ourselves on video, we really see what others see. Maybe that's why when we do see ourselves on video, our usual reaction is, do I look like that, right? So take a look. What's your appearance like? What is your posture like? Good posture means passion. And good speakers are passionate about their particular area of expertise. So take a look at your experience and your appearance rather, and try to make sure that you're sending the right message. Also under nonverbal is gestures. How do you use your hands? How do you use your body when communicating? I've worked with young to older to more experienced executives over the years, and probably the biggest issue are the hands. Some people just really freak out over that. A lot of times they immediately put them in their pockets. That just doesn't work. Or other times they use them too much. They're just constantly doing this. That doesn't work either. But when you record yourself, you'll see, how am I using my hands? Too much? Too little? Are they actually helping me get my message across? That's the key. And then finally, look for movement. Are you a public speaker that grabs onto that podium for dear life? Well, the audience knows that, and if you're uneasy, they'll be uneasy too. So take a look at the movement. So those three elements under the nonverbal area are important. Now, moving over to verbal, which is your voice. Look at and listen for the pitch of your voice. Is it right? Is it where it should be? Sometimes when we get nervous, our pitch will rise, especially women. The pitch goes up, and if it's too high, it interferes with what you're trying to say. Now, on the other hand, some people when they're speaking are monotone. They flatline, which means they're dead, right? You don't want that. Your audience will be asleep in no time at all if you're flatlining. So watch for your pitch and whether or not you have monotone tendencies. Another area to look for under the verbal category is patterns. Some people have a sing-songy pattern. Regardless of the words, they go up and then they go down. They go up and they go down. Well, that will put an audience to sleep eventually. So avoid those patterns. Many people, especially younger executives, have issues with ending patterns. They'll be talking, and as they get to the end of the sentence, they sort of drop off every time. Or, I see this a lot with younger executives, and in particular young women, they put a question mark at the end of a statement, and that sabotages their expertise. It makes them sound like they're questioning themselves. So look forward, or rather look for those patterns as you're examining your tape. And finally, and this is the most important thing when it comes to communication and public speaking, inflection. It's hard to really define, but the best way to explain inflection is if you take any sentence or any number of sentences, and if you examine them closely, there are really only 3 or 4 words in every sentence that matter. And what you need to do is punch those words as you're giving your presentation. You can punch them non-verbally, right, with your hands, with gestures. You can lean forward, you can hit the podium, whatever, you can count like this, whatever it happens to be. But also use your voice when it comes to inflection. Maybe your rate slows down just a little bit on those key points, right? Or you become a little more loud, right? You raise your volume as you're getting to those key words. But inflection is really a key point, and with practice, you can nail that. So again, I wish you good luck. Make sure to record. Look for the verbal, look for the nonverbal, and when you do, you're going to be your own toughest critic, and you'll go from here all the way up to there the next time. From the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business, I'm Ken White. Good luck.